Joining me now, live from Sweden on the Very Irish playlist, is a rising star of the next generation in the Irish music industry. In such a short space of time, her name has become synonymous with quality and talent, and you'd be forgiven if you thought it was someone with more years under their belt in the industry. Please welcome to the backstage, Lauren Wallace. How you doing, Lauren?
Very good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. We were just catching up before we got into this, and you're saying that you're after getting a lovely bit of sun out in Sweden.
Yeah, I love a bit of sunburn.
Specifically. Well, Lauren, before we sit into this, I want to ask you, you're aware of what a rider is, and I'm sure that you have a regular rider for when you're doing your gigs and whatnot, after doing many now. Out of curiosity, if there was no financial limit, you could have anything before or after the gig, and we've had requests for people, pyrotechnics, other celebrities, whatever it could be. If you have no financial limit, what 2 to 3 things would you want on your rider for backstage?
No financial limit, I would really like one of those like chocolate fountains.
Nice. Okay.
It's fun, but like white chocolate.
Nice.
One of my friends heard me say that, she gagged. Yeah, I think a white chocolate fountain, and then like loads and loads of jars of Biscoff spread. I'll take my brother because he never wants to come backstage because he's not allowed, but I'd like to have him there.
Oh, that's cool. All right, to enjoy the white chocolate. And can I ask, how big of a fountain are we talking? Are we talking like Las Vegas Casino fountain or just a little one?
I mean, if there's no financial limit, I will take Las Vegas Casino.
Nice. So we're going to build you a 1/4 mile long white chocolate fountain. Love
That's perfect.
All right, thank God there's no financial limit. Okay, so let's sit into it then. Let's talk music, Lauren. So one thing that has been on my mind is last year you released your debut EP. It was called Salt Stained Lungs. Brilliant name, by the way. And you mentioned that your track People Who Love People, which we've played many times here on the V.I.P, is one of your favourite songs, one of your first songs that made you feel like a, and I quote, proper musician, and that it's the most, I quote again, authentic song you've ever written. Well, since then, you've gone alongside Blair Gilmore for Didn't Want to Try. You just released Mr. Saving Grace and my personal favourite, Gap Teeth. So it sounds like you've taken what you learned and ran with it and got savage results. Where do you feel you are now, almost a year later?
Now I'm like, I sometimes feel like I haven't done a lot, and then I look back and I go, oh, you know what? That wasn't too bad. And trying to get all that out alongside the leaving cert was hard. So I think I'm in a kind of just writing space right now where I can just take a breather and be like, okay, I've got stuff released. I've got like a basis of stuff to sit on, and now I can just kind of have time to write and figure out like where I want to go sonically and content wise, and just figure out what I sound like when I'm not trying to match deadlines every day.
Yeah, and you're the first talent that we've had on where I get to ask this question. For any other young musician who's trying to balance the leaving cert, which is easily one of the most important 2 weeks of your young life, educationally, right? Given our system that we have, and also releasing music. What kind of advice can you give to musicians during that period of life?
Is genuinely, like, the leaving cert is important and it's very hard, but also like the actual like 2 weeks or 3 weeks of exams, it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. It's not as serious. Like, it's not terrifying every single day. So you've still got time if you want to go home, like you can decompress a bit, do an exam, work on a song, and it kind of helps to just keep everything in a balance and not just go, okay, I'm going to shut off music to study now. And because if I tried to do that for the first little bit of studying, I was like, okay, just books, no music, and that didn't work because I'd be trying to study and just thinking about like a guitar riff or something.
Right. Okay. So yeah, kind of getting into that artistic flow is another way to help your mind just unwind.
Yeah, honestly. And like the music can kind of help at school sometimes, especially in like English is one of my favorite subjects. So personal essays and me are best friends. So you can draw on both of them.
Can I ask then, because English being your favourite subject, I think that really shines through in your songwriting, if I can talk about it. I was just listening to Gap Teeth again, just to be like, oh, I love this track. And the opening lyrics, I believe it's ode to your cousin, and you say like falling off the trampoline, you still have the same gap teeth. First off, can you give a shout out to your cousin? And secondly, how important is the influence of being able to write? Because it doesn't seem like you just have a natural, I think you said that you wrote the song on your phone or something. You seem to have just a natural progression into English writing. Have you ever struggled for song lyrics?
I do sometimes when I haven't sometimes if I'm in a big writer's block, I'll just be like, okay, I need to go do something. Like I need to go out and do a bit of living and get some song content, some inspiration. And then if I'm actually not bothered to do that, then I'll just think back on like childhood, I guess. And that's where Gap Teeth came from, because I was really bored, writer's block. And so I called up my cousin and I was like, Kate. And she's like, what? I was like, do you want a song? And she's like, fine. But yeah, she's one of my best friends. She's basically my sister. So I was just like, oh, I remember when she did a flip on the trampoline and smashed her face and broke her tooth. I was like, I can make that sound cute though. So now she's annoyed at me because she's like, Lauren, everyone thinks I have gap teeth. I don't have gap teeth. I'm like, I know, but like you have the same chip mark in your tooth where they glued it back together. It doesn't have the same ring to it as a same gap teeth.
Shout out to Keith, you handled it like a pro. Fair play to you. Well, that actually smoothly then leads us on to Mr. Saving Grace, because on your Instagram you had been recently talking about Mr. Saving Grace. It is your most recent song, and you were saying that it's going in a different direction, right? Because for these songs you were drawing on 14 and 15, and as you said, you don't have a whole lot of real life experience. So then Mr. Saving Grace comes along. Like, do you think this is going to be more of a going forward sound for Lauren Wallace?
I think definitely, and anything that is live drums I will always love. Boom. So I'm a massive bias towards a huge middle eight. And I love that direction so much.
Nice. You're an artist after my own heart. I'm a drummer at heart as well, so you gotta get the real ones in there. Let's talk Forest Fest, right? Because it's from the recording of this, literally a week from now, Lauren, you're going to be getting up in emo County Laois and playing at Forest Fest. How are you feeling?
I'm so excited, because it's my first ever festival, so I'm like, ooh, I feel like proper.
Nice. And tell me, is there anything we can expect? Because I know even for like Mr. Saving Grace, you did a performance recently where you were rocking the pink dress. Is there a costume? Is there a wardrobe for this event?
Well, I'm thinking about pink, and I'm trying to convince my band to wear pink, because I was like, oh, it could be cute, guys. And they're like, Lauren, no. But I'm very persuasive, so you might get a little trio of Pinkaliciouses up there. But mostly
Okay, very cool. Out of curiosity, and apologies, is your band as well, like, are they from the same school, or are they musicians that you found over your time in the circuit?
They actually have a funny story. It's basically, so it's me, it's Ryan Meany and Aidan Havey. So I started working with Aidan like 2 years ago, I want to say. And so my guitar teacher teaches him in college, so they're all older than me. And so I asked my guitar teacher, I was like, do you know any guitarists? I'm doing this little like showcase and I really need someone to play with me. And he was like, this is Aidan, he plays in metal bands, he could also do your little like sad coming of age pop girly songs. I was like, grand, perfect. Because as much as like I write pop girly music, I mostly listen to like death metal, which is so I was like, great, I have a metal friend now. And so that's how Aidan came about. And Ryan used to be in this band called New Rules. And I was a massive One Direction kid. So when New Rules came about, I was like, oh yes, One Direction 2.0. This is amazing. And they actually came to my school on a school tour where I saw him. And then last year he walks into the studio and I was like, I know you. And he was like, I don't know you. That's really creepy. Yeah, so me fangirling over their band to being one of them and making them my guitar wench. So
that is an epic origin story of bands if I've ever heard it. So Ryan, who, you know, was part of this New Rules band, is now your band.
Yeah.
Amazing. That is the most like gangster, like just kind of like, yeah, you're in my band now. Okay.
You can't join him to steal him.
Yeah. Well, now that we know the epic backstory, I think Forest Fest is going to have a whole extra lore to it now. People go to enjoy this. So you're going to be performing on the first night. There's epic names going to be joining you on the stage, but we cannot stress enough, Lauren Wallace, the future of Irish music industry. You gotta go check this out, especially if they're all in Pinkalicious. Then you know exactly what happened. Lauren ended up winning the arm wrestling match that was going on there. Lauren, what is next? After Forest Fest, what's on the horizon?
After Forest Fest, I have a couple gigs, but mostly I'm excited for my second headline. So it's in Workman's on the 17th of September.
So that's Workman's 17th of September, second headline show. One thing that I would love to know is, like, have you aspirations for 2026 in terms of music production? Are there things on the horizon? Do you have any ideas? What can you give us?
Going forward, I think the thing I most want is just to spend so much time in the studio with my producers, just like figuring out how I want to like continue writing and just learn different ways to create more music and just explore different sounds and try, I don't know, just use my time and have fun and make stuff I love with people that I love, and I'm excited.
Nice. Heck yeah, Lauren. And can I ask, what's your plan? You said you've done the Leaving Cert. What's your expectation next? Is it college? Is it focusing on music? What's the plan?
Focusing on music for the next while, because I know that I want to do it so much. I'm not ready to go off and spend a lot of time in college writing lots of essays and doing exams yet. So I will go, because I love learning and all that jazz, but not yet. I'm just going to focus on music because I kind of wake up thinking about it, go to sleep thinking about it, and I don't want to let anything interfere with that right now.
Brilliant. Well, from what you're saying about expanding your arsenal in terms of songwriting and production to then this being your core focus for the next while, I think we're all going to be super excited for Lauren Wallace down the line. So that's Forest Fest next Friday, a week from now. And then Workman's 17th in September. Can people get tickets at the door, or do they have to go online?
And you can get tickets on Ticketmaster, and there's a link in my bio on Instagram as well.
Excellent. Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us here on the Very Irish Playlist, and best of luck at Forest Fest in Emo, County Laois.
Thank you for having me.